Lesson 54. Our new word for this lesson means philosopher, and it has the accent on the third syllable from the end, so it's philosophos. We don't have any long vowels in this word, do we, Catherine?
No, they're all short. Even the iota is short.
Yeah, it's only about 3 or 4 millimeters tall. Oh, you meant short in duration.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Unlike the iota in iatros, which we saw in the last lesson.
So this is a good lesson for our readers and listeners about how certain vowels can be long at times and at other times can be short. So in iatros, you got a long iota. Philosophos, you have a short iota.
Right. And the nice thing is that philosophos, because the accent is on the third syllable from the end, it's very similar in accent to our word philosopher.
Right, the accent is on the same syllable, so it has sort of a similar kind of feeling to it when you say it.
Yeah.
So that root word there, phi, iota, lambda, omicron, that root word means love. You can find it in the form of a verb. Here it's in the form of a noun. And then sophos, our listeners may recognize that from the word Sophia. Sophia is a common name for a girl. Taking a look at our exercises, we don't really have anything new grammar-wise. We just have the new word philosophos. So in number 1, I am a philosopher. In number 2, we have the article in front of the word philosophos. So it's I am the philosopher. One thing to notice in exercises 1 and 2 is that we have the enclitic eimi there coming right after the word philosophos, and something special happens here. Remember that in any syllable counting unit in ancient Greek, you have to have an accent on one of the final 3 syllables, either the last, next to last, or third to last. And so here, the enclitic eimi has given its accent away to the previous word.
But then that means that there are 2 accents on philosophos, because philosophos already has an accent, but it's too far back in the syllable counting unit to fulfill the requirement that there must be an accent in one of the 3 last syllables of the unit.
Exactly. So according to the rules of ancient Greek accents, what will happen is that that first accent over the omicron will stay put, but then the word philosophos gets another accent donated to it from the enclitic eimi. So eimi gives away its accent. That ends up over the last syllable of philosophos. And so as a syllable counting unit, it sounds like philosophosemi. 2 accents. The second accent is 3 from the end, but then as far as the entire syllable counting unit goes, really it has 2 accents.
Right.
So a few lessons ago, we mentioned that this could happen, and so here we see it happening.
Yep, right there.
I think, Catherine, we're going to see this a lot with longer nouns, nouns that have more than 3 syllables, like didaskalos, philosophos, telemakos.
Yeah, we will see this a lot with words like that and with Alexandros as well.
In number 3, we just have the regular accent on philosophos because eimi is not coming after it, it's coming before it. Remember, with an enclitic wants to give away its accent to the previous word. And eimi can't do that here because it's the first word in the sentence.
Right. So because it's the first word in the sentence, it has its own accent that it keeps.
That's exactly right. It doesn't have anybody before it to give away its accent to. So it just hangs on to it. And again, in number 6, we see 2 accents in the syllable counting unit. Telemachosemi. Again, eimi is an enclitic. It wants to give away its accent to the previous word. So it has done that. It gives away its accent, and that ends up on the chos syllable of telemachos. And so that syllable counting unit has 2 accents. And it sounds like telemachosemi.
Right. And just as with Georgosemi, the accent does not become a grav because we're still treating this whole thing as a one syllable counting unit. And so it's staying in acute because it's as if it were part of all one word.
That's a great point. Usually, if there's an acute accent on the last syllable of a word and there's something after it, it changes to a grav. But not when it's part of a syllable counting unit that includes an enclitic after it.
Right.
In that situation, it does not happen. It stays as an acute. That's a great point, Catherine.